In today's episode, Lisa asks, what does a home run look like in your content marketing? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Because of the analogy. If you look, baseball is one of the few sports that I know a tiny bit about, only because baseball has been the subject of many data science and machine learning studies. Baseball statistics are rich. They go back decades, and they are in well-structured tables and data sets. So almost every data scientist who's been practicing for a while and has done some training has worked with a baseball data set at some point or another. And the funny thing is, if you look in your average baseball data set for a team or for a set of players or whatever, what happens more, home runs or runs batted in? Now, if you're a baseball fan, you know the answer to this. If you're not a baseball fan, the answer is that the run batted in, meaning a player who hit a single, double, or a triple and got another player who was already on base over the plate, that happens 2 to 3 times more than a home run. And I think this is a really great analogy for the way we think about goals in content marketing. It is great. It is great when you get the occasional home run that drives your goals. Tons of registrations, tons of leads, lots of purchases, checkouts and shopping carts and all that stuff. But if you're aiming for home runs and nothing else, that's like aiming for conversions that, this last touch conversions only. You just want the person to buy something immediately. Now, if your product is super low risk and super inexpensive or free, then yeah, you can focus on the home run because it's going to be relatively easy. It'd be like hitting a home run. It'd be like putting a Major League Baseball player in like the kiddie park, right? They'll hit a home run all day long because for them it's like hitting a ball 10 feet. It's like Major League Baseball players playing wiffle ball. But for everybody else, if you're only aiming for home runs and nothing else, you're going to lose. You will lose to the opponent who has an RBI engine, who can just consistently get players over the plate. In content marketing, that is, the content marketer who consistently creates great content that moves players across the base, and moves customers through their journey. And if you think about it, it's a really good example. It's a really good analogy because you have somebody on second base. Sometimes they might stay where they are. Sometimes they might move forward. Sometimes they might move forward a lot or a little bit. You don't know. But you need something to help them keep moving through their journey, right? Same as baseball. Not everybody's going to be a slugger that can drive it over the fence. But you get somebody get a team full of people who can hit doubles and triples all day long. They're going to just crank that run engine, and they're going to win the game. So the question is then, what content generates RBIs and what content generates the home runs? Because hopefully you will have at least a few home runs, at least for you in your industry, whatever that looks like. It may not be, the chicken nugget tweet that generates 2 million retweets or whatever. It may be something as simple as, hey, this is our highest converting content. This is our highest converting offer, our highest converting landing page. That's, for lack of a better term, that's your home run, right? Then the other 95% of your content that generates or that participates in some kind of conversion, that's your RBI engine. This is where on-site attribution analysis of your content on your website is really powerful. Measuring the home runs, that's easy, right? The content that just drives the conversions, last touch conversions, that's been built into web analytics forever. And again, those don't happen often. So if you're looking only at last touch conversions, like what created the win, you're going to get a pretty small and disappointing answer. What you need is the ability to do that attribution analysis to find your strongest RBI engines, which pieces of content just help keep moving people over the plate faster and faster and faster, or more and more and more. Because in the end, that's what's going to win you the game. If you've got a blog and you've got 100 blog posts and 20 of them consistently get people to advance in their journey, guess what? You've got the makings of an RBI engine. You've got the makings of a content engine that's going to help move people across the finish line. If you've got a blog, on the other hand, that has like 2 posts that get conversions and 98 posts that don't, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table. So the key is to do that on-site attribution analysis to determine what content is really working for that last touch, and then what content is working to advance the customer through their journey, whether or not it closes the deal, and improve that, build more of that, figure out what that looks like. You may find, as you do that analysis, that there's certain types of content or certain topics or certain ideas or certain words and phrases that are consistently part of your RBI engine, your content marketing RBI engine. What are they? What are those words? What are those phrases? And can you make more of that? Now, you don't want to focus exclusively on that stuff, but at least in the beginning, when you're trying to get more juice for the squeeze out of your marketing budget and your content marketing budget in particular, that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on improving what's already working, building more of the stuff that works, and then continuing trying to research. Maybe there is an extra home run or a new piece of content you can use that will continue to perform well. So it's an analysis that you want to run frequently. I tend to run that analysis on my website about once a week to see, okay, is there a new piece of content that I've created that, wow, that's really getting the juice. It seems to have caught the audience's eye. And in the meantime, going back and revising and tuning up old content that is still performing, that is still generating those RBIs. So a good question, Lisa, and one that should get people thinking about ways to extend the analogy beyond the simplistic home run to what helps us win the game, what helps us in any fashion make things better. And here's one more thing to think about. When you run that attribution analysis, depending on the method you use and the code you use, some pages will either be zeros or may actually be negative in their scores of participating in conversions. Guess what? Those are your duds. Those are the players on the team who strike out, right? You want to minimize those, just as a baseball team would trade those players. Like, oh, these are not working out on this team. You want to identify those players on your team and reduce, remove, or mitigate their impact so that they're stopping customers from dissuading them from converting. So think about that too. Extend the analogy a little bit further. Who are your top players? Who are your high-performing players? And who are your non-performing players? And take those out of your content marketing. So great question. Fun analogy to think about and work with, because this is the sort of thing that a lot of people understand, and that people can really extend the analogy and look for more opportunities. So great question. As always, please leave your comments below, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon.
Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.